Christians, we often talk about the will. And most of the time, Christians like to talk about free will, as well as atheists like to have that conversation as well. They like to challenge us, but that's going to be another post. But I want to talk about the will of God, because the will of God is divided up into two categories. His will of precept, or his moral will, and his decorative will, or his will of command. Here's the difference. When we say his will of precept or his moral will, we're talking about what he has outlined to be obligatory on the part of free agent men to obey and to follow. His law, his 10 commandments, thus an expression of his will for man in order to establish obedience with God. It is his will of precept, his will of law, which states what he desires for you to do. It is not a force on his part for you to move one way or move another. It's his will of precept, or his will of his moral will. Now, then you have his decorative will, or his will of command. This is what his will is in terms of what actually happens in creation. His will of decree, his decorative will, or his will of command, is what he is actually doing, what he's actually executing in this life, what he executes in creation, what he does. So it is what he does which cannot change. It is him rolling out his providence in the affairs of men and angels and beasts. That will cannot be disrupted. It cannot be subverted. It cannot be circumvented. It cannot be stopped. It is the rollout of everything that he has determined beforehand to do. It is his predestinative decree over all things that happen in this life.